everybody, and welcome to this week's Railsplitter Athletics Report. I'm your host, Rusty Peace. Special thanks to Adam Haley for stepping in last week as I was out, not on assignment, but on vacation. So thank you very much to Adam Haley. All right, let's talk about LMU athletics. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Our guest will be Jenny Michael of the Lincoln Memorial University volleyball program. We're going to be talking about recruiting and about some of the signees that will be coming in to wear the blue and gray next year for the Lady Railsplitters, as well as what she's been seeing from the returning members of her team in the gymnasium throughout the off season. And they do have some competition that they'll play in this year. I'm sure both here and at home, intra-squad and beyond. It's not an official play, of course, but we'll talk about that. A little bit later on, we'll talk with Helio Dana, head coach of the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's soccer teams, and we'll be talking recruiting with him as well in depth as he's got a pack of players coming in. Let's take this time out, and we'll be back with more right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet.
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
When you think of springtime, you don't necessarily think of volleyball in that same thought. But, you know, for Coach Michael and what she tries to accomplish here on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University as head volleyball coach, volleyball is a never-ending topic. So, Coach, I know that it's a 365-day-a-year job. You do take a little bit of time to get out and get into some recreation as far as walking the trails here in the area with your dogs, your kids, if you will, those kids. But you know, for the most part, every week, almost every day, you're doing something in preparation for the season to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, my fur babies and I, we do enjoy the area quite a bit. One of the things that we love about spring, and to be honest, the weather hasn't necessarily cooperated this time as of yet, but we really like to get out on the sand courts that we have on campus too. So that's something that's a little bit, you know, different and a nice way to cross-train. And, you know, who knows what the future may hold. They're starting to expand and develop sand volleyball as a collegiate sport, and it's soon to be a officially recognized NCAA championship. And maybe in the future we can have a sand team here at LMU. I don't know. We'll
Coach,
see.
Speaking for all LMU volleyball fans, we're always eager to see you get out on the sand courts over there with your team. So, yeah, we're all about that sand team maybe in the future. But realistically and seriously, I mean, you know, you've got a good, solid returning base foundation for fall 2015. I know that you've been hot and heavy on the recruiting trail. Because of NCAA regulations, folks, we can only comment on the kids that will have signed a national letter of intent. And so there may be some other additions to the team later on, but I know that you have some quality signees so far and some people that you're looking very forward to having in your mix as Lady Railsplitter.
Absolutely. We were able to sign 2 young ladies early in November. One young lady coming from us is Danielle Jed. Danielle. She's a middle hitter, very tall, athletic young lady. She comes from Blackman High School, which is kind of a fun little story because one of our current members, Casey Mency, that's actually her high school as well. And it's been kind of fun through the recruiting process because, you know, she remembered working with her in the summer when she was younger, and a lot of times Casey would go home in the summer and do, you know, reffing different summer leagues and things like that, and has been able to see Danielle, you know, grow up and really mature as an athlete. So that's really neat to have, you know, that kind of local family connection coming on in as well. And then Erica Whitaker from Harpeth High School, you know, we're really excited about both of them. And, you know, this young lady is kind of fun because she's a little redheaded nugget. I mean, this little kid, she's a little spark plug. And, you know, we're really excited for her to come in. And, you know, both of these young ladies with their athleticism and their ability should have an opportunity to compete.
With what you have returning and bringing these individuals in, what was it that you were looking for specifically for them to bring to the table with what you have returning?
Great question. You know, we're still continuing to try to improve our athleticism on the floor, getting people that are faster, quicker, that jump higher. And both of these young ladies really contribute to that. In addition, we want to make sure that we maintain a high quality of character with our young ladies. And again, both of these young ladies are spot on. Erica is an extremely high academic young lady. And, you know, Danielle, again, I mentioned, you know, we've been able to see her, not myself personally, but, you know, our program, being in Casey Mency, has been able to see her grow and develop and, you know, communicate with her high school coach to know just how hard of a worker she is and what kind of character she brings in. So really excited for those two young ladies in the area of athleticism and character.
I know a year ago the team fell short of their goal to make the NCAA regional tournament again. The returning players from last year's squad obviously had to have shared in the disappointment of that, but I know that a lot of times that motivates teams for the following season, and by and large, I mean, you had a pretty young team a year ago.
Yeah, you know, I feel like we've come in here and we've talked, and for quite a while we've been saying, you know, we have a young team, we have a young team. I'm really looking forward to this year, you know, hopefully not having that as something to use as a pitfall. We've got a very strong senior class coming in. These young ladies, you know, will have been here from the recruiting process in the very beginning and on through now for 4 years, and they're hungry. They remember that success that they had their first 2 years, and they definitely want to get back to that rank, you know, their senior season. And then for our younger kids, you know, for them it's motivation because they're the first class that, you know, the first two classes that hasn't had that taste of, you know, regional postseason play yet. And, you know, that's definitely been a strong motivator. They see the banners in our gym, and they want to be able to say that they've contributed to, you know, more than just one.
All right, the question that I would then pose to you that we kind of have to stand on the fence with what you have returning, with what you've already signed, what are we still looking for 2015?
A little bit more depth at our outside position. You know, that's an area that we've been a little bit weak in, and, you know, we would like to continue to have a little bit more depth in that area.
So specifically, you're talking about recruiting certain positions, but in terms of numbers, I mean, do we have any idea of how many you're still trying to bring in, and are those kids online at this point?
Right now we'll have 14 for next season, and we're looking at one more young lady, and depending on whether or not, you know, she decides to commit to us or not, we'll determine whether we have 15 or if we stay with the 14. I'm a big fan of quality over quantity, and at this point very excited with the girls that we've had training this spring, with the two young ladies that we mentioned coming in, and if we can add this other young lady, then I would be very, very excited about what all we have coming.
Yeah, it's nice to have large numbers, but ultimately there's only so many positions on the floor, only so much time that you can get in every match. So, you know, if you have too many, it can be a good problem to have, but it can also be a bad problem to have. All right, let's talk about the spring very quickly. We got a couple of minutes left. What do you and your program have in store for the upcoming spring?
Well, we had an opportunity before spring break. Tusculum College came up, and we had an opportunity to play against one another, you know, unofficially in the spring. It's nothing that can be posted or, you know, scores or anything like that. But that was a really good opportunity for, you know, two teams who compete against each other so heavily in the fall and so fiercely. To have a little bit more relaxed atmosphere, but yet still compete. You know, I know their situation, they don't have as many numbers in the gym, and we've been a little bit down because we still have some people recovering from injuries and then losing the 3 seniors that we did from this past year's squad. So it was nice to be able to have an opportunity to play a full 6-on-6. This weekend, we're actually very excited to be going to Milligan College. They do a great job in hosting a big 3-court spring gathering, shall we say. There's certain words we're not allowed to say it. I'm sorry, I can't remember them all. But we're looking forward to that. We get to see a wide range of teams over there. Some people that are in conference, some people that are, you know, Division III or NAI even. So it's a good mix, and looking forward to kind of concluding our indoor season with that big event.
Well, we certainly want to wish you the best of luck in that endeavor this weekend. Obviously, I know that the off season, they say the champions are made in the off season, so hopefully this team is taking that to heart. But for those of you out there, in order to find out the Lady Railsplitters sand court schedule, you'll have to contact Coach Michael in her office and make sure that you carbon copy me on that when you send that email.
Well, we can talk about that just a little bit since it is kind of an official. All next week we'll be practicing, weather permitting, you know, on main LMU campus, and then we are preparing for on Saturday the 18th, working with Carson Newman and some other local universities, ETSU, UT Chattanooga, UT out of Knoxville. We will be in Knoxville at the K2 facility having a sand volleyball tournament on the 18th. Awesome. So
well, I tell you what, I can't wait for the days that we see huge galleries out at the sand court watching the volleyball team play. Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're going to take a timeout when we come back. Thanks to Coach Michael. First of all, when we come back, we'll be talking with Coach Haley O'Dana of the LMU soccer teams about recruiting and much more. Stay with us.
You make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency.
There.
Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand in your community to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Normally when I talk to Coach Haley O'Dana in the springtime, he and his teams are involved in what they call futsal, which is indoor soccer, so to speak. Right now, Coach Dana has been in the midst of recruiting as it's a never-ending process. It happens during the regular season as well, but I know that he's finalized some things. We've seen a lot of posts on the LMU Athletics website this week in terms of the new signees of the program. And Coach, I know this year you're bringing in a lot of players on both the men's and women's programs.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably par for the course. You really, on any given year, you're going to lose some. Obviously, they graduate, but there's always an issue. Somebody doing a pre-professional course that finishes early, you know, different things happen. But par for the course, a big incoming class. I'm excited.
We've got a lot of individuals to talk about, so we're going to get right to it here. Let's go first with the men here and take a look at some of the signees that you brought in already.
Well, no?
That's volleyball. We're going to have to go back to soccer. All right, there we go.
Okay, well, these two first ones, Safa is a local kid with an Arabic background that lives in Knoxville, kind of probably a developmental kid, and then Tiago will be a high-impact Brazilian defender. We know that we graduated a big one too, so I'm excited.
What do you know about these two individuals? What positions do they play?
Safa will be a midfielder, Tiago will be a center back. Tiago is a big boy, Safa will be more of a technical player.
All right, and the styles of soccer, obviously you play the Brazilian style, which is more of possession.
Right, and you're going to see a ton of different backgrounds there. One is Arabic, one is Brazilian, but the common ground is always going to be the typical Brazilian style of play, which is possession, ball on the ground, and a little less direct.
All right, let's move on. All right, Trey Finch.
Trey is from Georgia. Trey will be also one of these kids that can have a quick learning curve, but might take a year to get the college pace, but a good athlete, quick, probably either a fullback or a winger.
All right. You got Colby Luby or Lubby?
Luby, and Cole is a keeper, big boy, very strong, athletic. He remind me a little bit of Mike Watkins back in the day, so he'll be an important kid coming in. Enrique, a Brazilian, another one. You're going to see quite a few this year, Brazilians coming in, and Enrique is, comparing with older generations, he's more towards a Leo de Barros kind of player, very crafty, very can both play, make, or score.
All right. Coming from your home country of Brazil. Jason Newell of Richmond, Kentucky, and Matt Taylor of Marietta, Georgia.
Right, two kids that I honestly feel that, like Nick Spielman was this year, they can make a huge impact right away, or it might take a little while. But Jason was homeschooled, so he didn't play high school, but played club. And Matt played academy throughout his career, which is high-level soccer. So I'm excited.
All right, good signees there. Pedro Ozzy of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Philip Wong of Hong Kong.
Right. Pedro is already here, actually. He's a big keeper, 6'6", big signee because we are graduating Marcel Barvaniat. So him and Cole and one more coming up will fill the shoe. And Philip, one of these just devil maniacs that run everywhere. He's going to be a winger, but really without position, he's really a very athletic kid.
All right. Moving to the women's program, Courtney Boyd of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Emily Peel of Woodlands, Texas.
Courtney, kind of a fullback on the style of Cookie that just graduated. She's going to be one of these rabbit bunnies that runs all the time. Emily, a big defender. She's almost 6 foot. Played ECNL, which is the highest level of soccer in the nation. And she's a kind of a dual background. She has lived in Texas, but she's from England.
All right. Moving along to Allison Flock of Charleston, Tennessee, and Allison Berry of St. Joseph's, Michigan.
Right. Flock is kind of not a local, but not far from here. She midfielder. She is probably going to be one of those that will take a little while learning on the curve of college, but Elisa is an immediate impact. She's a defensive mid, but skilled enough to play offensive mid as well.
And finally, I'll leave this one to you from Miami, Florida.
Issa Jara. Issa is a Colombia background. She's very exciting. She's technical. She's a winger or a midfielder, and she's going to be to the likes of our typical Brazilian girls.
And then you've got Amanda Perez of Miami, Florida, and Claire Leisure of Franklin, Tennessee.
Right, two high impact. Amanda is a Cuban background, but lives in Miami, and Claire is a winger to the likes of Nicole McKinney that is graduating. Both of them expected to come and do well right away.
Hannah Ratliff, Somerset, Kentucky, only about 2 hours away, and Caitlin Waddle a little bit closer than that out of Corbin.
Right, these two actually know each other pretty well, and They'll be, it depends on how quickly they adjust to the pace, but they'll be good, solid players.
Kelsey Stafford, Pompano Beach, Florida, and Samantha Brum of Cottage Grove, Minnesota.
Right, two defenders. We are graduating some important players back there, and they'll be able to play a number of different positions in the back, either fullback or center backs, but high-impact players.
All right. Coach, let's start with the men. Obviously, you're bringing in a lot of players on both squads. When the 2014 fall season ended, what immediately came to mind that you needed for next year's team?
Right, it was such a young team, probably the youngest team in the conference, and so the core of the team is back, and we were the number 2 team in the conference as far as defense is concerned, but we had a low output of goals. So my immediate need as far as recruiting is, apart from the goalkeeper, that it was an important one as well, is to bring people that can score. I know we cannot post it yet, but we had 2 more verbals of Brazilian boys that will be posted soon on our website, also goal scorers. So I feel between the returners, who, mind you, had a great spring, and the incoming players, we should solve that problem. Assuming that, you know, from year to year, people are going to be better, our defense should be solid as well this year, but our goal scoring output should be much higher.
The game of soccer has changed drastically since you came into the mix at Lincoln Memorial University in your first season on the Division II level. It's changed drastically. We've gone from the Gulf South, which was fully funded, to the South Atlantic, which is now fully funded, but for Lincoln Memorial it is in a transition process. That said, what does it take nowadays to get the players that are high caliber, high octane offensive type players like a Frederico Mujan, Leandro Pereira, guys that we've had in the past who were All-Americans up top?
Yeah, the dynamic changed so much. I mean, we're in such a different universe right now. I mean, when it comes to our region, this is much tougher region than it was back in the day. When it comes to the settings of LMU has grown so much. Our settings are so much different than back in the day. So what does it take? It takes just basically either having them step foot on campus, or I've been doing this, showed footage of where we are and what we have to offer, and we can get them. The requirements, LMU has turned into a higher level academically. The requirements to get these kids have been made a little tougher. So as far as test of English and you know, minimum GPA, minimum SATs. So it's a little harder to get those guys anymore, but at the same time, we have more to offer to them. So we're going to start seeing guys to that caliber.
Let's talk about the women again. Last year, I think, and maybe even for the last couple of seasons, while we've been pretty strong defensively, there have been times when we've struggled to score. Was offense one of the main things in mind when you recruited for this year?
No, I think the women have a different dynamic going there. Our conference on the women's side and our region on the women's side is the #1 in the nation. I mean, easy. So the women, last year were in the conference final. This year we lost in playoffs, but didn't even lose. We were knocked out in penalty kicks. So we're among the elites in the conference. You know, we're up there. We're the only team that beat Lenoir Rhine, that made deep runs in the past 2 years. So they're in good shape. But as always, you're going to lose some important players, and a program in order, that's the truth. You're going to always lose important players, but then you also have important players stepping up. And this spring was a proof of that. You know, we didn't have the seniors out there in the games, and the returners showed that they really are ready to step up. But with that said, we're bringing every position, we're bringing people that will challenge, and that's also a sign of a healthy program.
Yeah, you've got a solid returning base foundation for 2015. You didn't really have that many seniors. I think Nicole McKinney, Rachel Vanneau, maybe 1 or 2 more.
No, we had 7.
Oh, we did have a lot more than I thought. I was thinking we were only a couple.
We lost important players in every position. But at the same time, it's always going to be like that, because 1/4 of the roster should graduate every year, you know. So this program is in good shape, like I said.
All right, so with what you've brought in that's already signed the NLI, do you still have anything left to sign before the...
Yeah, 1 more verbal, another Brazilian. She committed, and we cannot talk about it yet until we do the paperwork. But that's it, because I have some players already asking, Coach, come on, how many? You know, so now we're almost done, and we're really looking forward now to the preseason.
About 30 seconds left in the show. What's in store for you and the teams over the next few weeks of the spring semester?
Yeah, we've been playing games. We still have 2 more play dates. Played a collection of Division I, Division II, NAI, and even clubs, academies. So we got 2 NAI schools this weekend for the men and women, and our alumni game next week, and we'll be done.
All right. Well, Coach, always good to talk with you and keep up to date on the LMU soccer programs. Best of luck throughout the remainder of the spring semester, and we're looking forward to 2015's fall season.
Thank you.
All right. Haley O'Dana of the LMU soccer teams. We'll take another break, and we will be back to close things out with the week ahead in the LMU athletics. Stay with us.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling batts insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Special thanks to our guests today, both Haley O'Dana and Jenny Michael, for joining us on this week's Railsplitter Athletics Report. Need to tell you that there's still some LMU athletics going on right now. I know that the Lincoln Memorial University baseball and softball teams are in a fight right now to qualify for the upcoming South Atlantic Conference tournaments, which will be played later on this April, and we want to wish both of them the best luck. LMU women's lacrosse team closed out their inaugural season this past week as well, unfortunately with a loss, but progress in the future, and we're looking forward to it as Coach Caitlin Karasi and her teams will take the field again in 2015 spring season for their second year of NCAA play. Ryan Kuhn and the men's lacrosse team also in action, and we hope that they can close out the season on a positive note here coming up in the next several games, and we'll tell you about that on next week's Railsplitter Athletics Report. Don't forget the LMU golf teams are getting ready to embark on the SAC Championships. Wish them the best of luck. LMU men's and women's track and field teams still in competition as well, and the LMU tennis teams battling for spots in the upcoming SAC tournament. The men in pretty good position right now. Let's hope they can hold. The women's got some work to do. To keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. That's all the time for this week. Until next week, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night, everybody.